Humans are responsible for global warming. This is a fact supported by countless studies and research papers. Our activities are heating up the planet, leading to serious consequences. Climate scientists have sounded the alarm for decades, yet the problem persists and grows worse with time. The main culprit is our use of fossil fuels. Burning coal, oil and gas releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This gas traps heat, causing the planet to warm. Other human activities like deforestation also contribute to the problem. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, so fewer trees mean more carbon dioxide in the air. The evidence is clear. The Earth's temperature is rising and human actions are to blame. We must understand this issue fully to address it. This essay will explore the causes and effects of global warming. We will also look at possible solutions and the need for global cooperation. Human activities are the main sources of greenhouse gases. These gases include carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Burning fossil fuels is the largest source. Factories, cars, and power plants all burn fossil fuels. This releases large amounts of carbon dioxide into the air. Agriculture also plays a significant role. Cows produce methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Rice paddies release methane as well. Fertilizers used in farming release nitrous oxide. These activities increase the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Deforestation is another critical factor. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, so cutting them down means more carbon dioxide stays in the air. Forests are often cleared for agriculture or urban development. This not only reduces the number of trees, but also releases carbon dioxide stored in the trees. All these activities have one thing in common: they increase greenhouse gases. This leads to a hotter planet. Understanding these sources is the first step in tackling the problem. The Industrial Revolution marked a significant turning point. It began in the late 18th century and brought about massive changes. Factories and machines became common. They required a lot of energy, mostly from burning coal. This increased carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Today they are over 410 parts per million. It coincides with the rise in global temperatures. This has led to melting ice and rising sea levels. The link between the Industrial Revolution and global warming is clear. Climate scientists have gathered extensive evidence about global warming. They use satellite measurements, ice core samples, and computer models. All methods point to the same conclusion: human activities are heating up the planet. Satellite data shows the Earth's atmosphere is warming. This data, collected over many years, shows a clear trend. Ice core samples reveal past climate conditions. The sharp increase in carbon dioxide levels is recent. Computer models predict future climate scenarios. If we continue on our current path, temperatures will keep rising. This will lead to more extreme weather events. The evidence is overwhelming. Climate scientists agree that global warming is real and caused by human activities. We must act now to address this issue. Section 5: Greenhouse Gases Explained. Greenhouse gases are crucial to understanding global warming. They include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. These gases trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. This is known as the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is a natural process. It keeps the Earth warm enough to support life. However, human activities are enhancing this effect. Burning fossil fuels releases large amounts of CO2. Agriculture and deforestation also contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. Methane is another potent greenhouse gas. It is released during oil and gas extraction. Livestock and rice paddies also produce methane. Nitrous oxide comes from agricultural activities, especially the use of fertilizers. Fluorinated gases are used in industrial applications. They are much more effective at trapping heat than CO2. Even though they are present in smaller amounts, they have a significant impact. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is essential to slowing down global warming. Section 6. Rise in Earth's surface temperature. The Earth's surface temperature has been rising steadily. Since the late 19th century, it has increased by about 1.2 degrees Celsius. Greenhouse gases trap heat, leading to a warmer planet. Burning fossil fuels is the largest source of these gases. The Arctic is one of the fastest warming regions. Other regions experience more extreme weather events. Addressing this issue requires reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Section 7. Extreme weather events. Global warming leads to more extreme weather events. These include heat waves, storms, floods, and droughts. As the Earth's temperature rises, these events become more frequent and severe. Heat waves are prolonged periods of excessively hot weather. They can be deadly, especially for vulnerable populations. The summer of 2023 saw record-breaking heat waves in many parts of the world. These heat waves were linked to global warming. Storms and hurricanes are also becoming more intense. Warmer ocean temperatures provide more energy for these storms. This leads to stronger winds, heavier rainfall, and more damage. Flooding is another consequence of global warming. Rising sea levels and heavier rainfall contribute to more frequent and severe floods. Droughts are prolonged periods of low rainfall. They can lead to water shortages and crop failures. Global warming is making droughts more common and severe. These extreme weather events have devastating effects on communities and economies. Section 8. Global impact on vulnerable populations. Global warming affects everyone, but some populations are more vulnerable. Poorer communities often lack the resources to cope with extreme weather events. They are more likely to suffer from heat waves, floods, and droughts.
Small island nations are particularly at risk. Rising sea levels threaten to submerge these islands. Many of these nations have already seen significant land loss. They face the prospect of becoming climate refugees, forced to leave their homes. Indigenous communities are also highly vulnerable. They often live in areas that are most affected by climate change. These communities rely on natural resources for their livelihoods. Changes in weather patterns can disrupt their way of life.
The global impact of global warming is profound. It exacerbates existing inequalities and creates new challenges. Addressing this issue requires special attention to vulnerable populations. Section 9. Limiting temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Limiting the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius is crucial. This target was set in the Paris Agreement, an international climate accord. Meeting this target can prevent the worst effects of global warming. To achieve this goal, we must reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This means transitioning to renewable energy sources. Wind, solar, and hydroelectric power are cleaner alternatives to fossil fuels. Energy efficiency is also essential. Using energy more efficiently can reduce emissions.
We must also protect forests and other natural carbon sinks. Trees absorb CO2, so preserving forests is crucial. Reforestation and afforestation can help increase the number of trees. Reducing deforestation is equally important. Limiting the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius requires global cooperation. Every country must play its part. Developed nations have a special responsibility. They have contributed the most to greenhouse gas emissions and have the resources to make significant changes.
Section 10. Benefits of proposed solutions. The proposed solutions to global warming offer many benefits. Transitioning to renewable energy sources can reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It can also create new jobs and boost the economy. Renewable energy is often cheaper in the long run. It reduces dependence on fossil fuels and increases energy security. Improving energy efficiency has similar benefits. It can lower energy bills and reduce emissions. Energy-efficient buildings and appliances use less energy. This reduces the demand for fossil fuels and lowers CO2 emissions.
Protecting forests and other natural carbon sinks has numerous advantages. Forests provide habitat for wildlife and support biodiversity. They also offer recreational opportunities and support local economies. Reforestation and afforestation can help combat global warming and provide these benefits. These solutions not only address global warming, but also offer social and economic benefits. They create jobs, reduce costs, and improve quality of life. Implementing these solutions is a win-win for society and the planet.
Section 11. The importance of global cooperation. Global cooperation is essential to tackling global warming. Climate change is a global problem that requires global solutions. No single country can solve it alone. Every nation must work together to reduce emissions and limit temperature rise. The Paris Agreement is an example of global cooperation. It brings together countries from around the world to address climate change. Each country sets its own emissions reduction targets. These targets are reviewed and updated regularly.
Developed nations have a special responsibility. They have historically contributed the most to greenhouse gas emissions. They also have the resources to make significant changes. Supporting developing nations is crucial. This includes financial assistance and technology transfer. Global cooperation can help ensure a fair and effective response to climate change. It can create a more sustainable and equitable world. Addressing global warming requires immediate and coordinated action from all nations.